Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Kristy. And this is Heard at the Bar. Here we are, another episode. Look at us go.
I know this is our 14th episode this season. Look at us.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. It took us, this was probably record time to get started today compared to other times we've done the taping. And the only reason why it took us extra was because we use Podcastle. We should get some sort of brand. No, anyways. We use Podcastle and they changed their name and I didn't know that. So an app showed up on my phone this week and I deleted it because why would I keep an app that I don't know? I didn't download it. I don't know where it came from. Is somebody trying to take over my phone through this app? I don't know. So I deleted it. Turns out it's the new Podcastle has been purchased or has changed its name. So there you go. Here we are. This technical savvy duo.
So just thinking back to when we first got started, it took us I'm going to say 8 months to figure out how to do our first podcast before we got going. And then it took us a while to figure out the editing because we were doing it ourselves. Yeah. And now, dang, we can record and I can edit it and post it and it goes live once a week. Look at that.
We're professionals.
We're professional now. So I just came from the studio and I was asking the girls, I was like, what do you want me to talk about on a podcast? What do you think we need to do? And they were like, talk about us. And I was like, I don't feel that would be appropriate that we talk about you on the podcast.
So do we just give the girls a shout out maybe?
Yeah, let's give the girls a shout out. I think I did talk about them in the very first season. They're the Western girls. They are Ivy students and MIT students that come to the studio 3 times a week. So girls, if you're listening, we say hi.
Hello, girls.
I won't tell your secrets. I won't tell your stories.
We only tell our own embarrassing stories and sometimes our children's, but we're careful. Mm-hmm. There's some editing that gets
we get
done.
Permission first too.
Right.
I don't say anything about my kids that they don't already know about, which the last episode we talked about, I said that, about policing for Neve and things and about Kian and that. So I told them both. I was like, hey, just heads up. I might have talked about you on the podcast and I might have said this. And both of them were like, I don't care.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
They were like, whatever, Mom. You're embarrassing.
I don't think I've told my girls when I've talked about them. I don't know if they watch this. I don't know if they do. Right? Maybe I should talk about them and see if they say something.
And see if they say anything to you about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is girls. If you're watching, you need to tell me you're watching.
I did see our YouTube audience is growing. So hello, YouTubers. Thank you for listening.
Welcome. Yeah. It's because of YouTube that I fret every time we get started what my hair looks like. So thank you.
Because the YouTube channel appears on her TV in the morning when she logs in.
It freaks me out when my face shows up on my TV when I'm sitting there. Every single time I'm like, what the heck? Who broke into my phone and took my picture and put it on YouTube?
So funny. So funny.
The world is out to get me through my phone.
I've been seeing a lot of TikToks lately, and honestly, TikToks for Generation X. So I'm seeing a lot of things that are pertinent to us, which I love seeing that. Because I kind of get tired of, I don't know, because you don't live in the same house, I guess, as the girls do now, but I live in a house of teenagers. So I end up getting the TikToks that match their algorithm, not mine, because we're on the same.
Oh, interesting.
So if my daughter experiences a breakup, I get breakup texts. I'm constantly getting TikToks fed to me about, he cheated, he did this, blah, 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 blah. If she's happy and loving something, I get those too. I've started to get Russian TikToks because of our Russian hockey player. So I'm suddenly I'm watching TikTok, I'm scrolling and all of a sudden I hear a song and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I'm like, it's not even English. I'm like, what am I looking at? And I look further at it and I'm like, oh, it's Russian. Oh, this must be from him. Okay, got you. All right. So I find it really, really funny how those types of things are coming in. But I did get some TikToks this week that I thought were really interesting. I think I sent you one and I thought, let's talk about it. So I know that Ontario has changed the rules for mammograms. So it used to be 50, then it was 45, and now I think it's like really young. Like I think it's like 35 or 40 or something like that now that you can
to start doing regulars.
Yes,
oh, wow.
Yes. So I know that when they changed it to 45, I had already had one and they changed it right about the time I should have been getting my 50. But I had already had and
I had no idea about this.
Mm-hmm. So then when I went for my most recent mammogram, she told me that, they now do them for, I want to say people 35 or 40. I can't remember now that you can do them.
For the baseline screening.
The baseline, yeah. So for me, I go every year because density. So the density of it. So because it doesn't appear the way they expected, I guess. They make me go.
It's harder to see, and so then and then when they see abnormalities, they're not sure if it's an abnormality or if it's just a dense breast. I mean, not to brag, but I also have dense breasts, although I don't think they're as dense as they used to be. But I did a baseline when I'm trying to remember when I turned 40 or it was 45. That I can't remember. Probably 45.
I think mine was 45.
Yeah. But you have to request it. Back then, like you couldn't just go. It wasn't like an automatic. And so when I had it done, I had the call afterwards. We want you to come back. I can't remember if it was 6 months or a year because they saw something. Mm-hmm. And then you go right into like, oh my God, what do they see? And it's so hard not to go to like worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the issue. And I was really lucky because at the time, one of my regular clients is the head of breast imaging at St. Joe's, which is the place in London to go. And she is like world renowned. Like she's amazing. So I was in her hands. And she was like, don't worry. It's probably just you have dense tissue. Don't worry about it. We'll find out. We'll do it again and we'll see. And then she would, the other wonderful thing is that when it shows up weird, it still could be just an abnormality, but now there's so many more things at their disposal. Mm-hmm. Like you can do a contrast ultrasound.
I was just going to, so I first had to have my first mammogram when I was 30.
Okay.
Because I had found a lump. So I found a lump. I panicked. So Kian was a baby. I found a lump, went to the doctor. She checked it out, said, yes, I feel that too. I'm going to send you for a mammogram. So I went for the mammogram and I had to find someone to watch him. And I was like, everything goes through your head, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm a young mother, blah, 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 blah. So they do the imaging and they're like, okay, instantly, while I'm still there, they're like, okay, we're going to have to book you for the ultrasound, contrast ultrasound. And I was like, okay, but I couldn't get in right away. So then I had to wait 3 weeks. And I remember just everything goes over. Like, what if I have breast cancer? What if I'm like everything goes to your head. What am I going to do? I have a young child, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. And then I started thinking of, what was the movie? There was a movie and the dad made videos. He had cancer. And he made videos for his kids. I forget what it was, but then that goes through my mind.
Oh my
and I'm
God,
like,
Courtney,
should I start recording video? Yeah. Like this is me. This is me at like just about 30. And I'm like, do I do videos? Oh my God, how long will I have? Like, and I go automatically to the worst scenario because I always feel if I plan out my worst and it ends up being better, I'm just happy.
Right.
So I automatically think, okay, this is what I'm going to do if this is. So I did that. And then they sent me again for another mammogram after that. So they found what it was on the ultrasound. They couldn't tell exactly, and they weren't sure if they wanted to do the biopsy.
Oh.
So they sent me for another mammogram. And when I went for the other mammogram, it was gone. So they determined they think it was a milk duct that had clogged. And so I was just, and so that was probably 2 months that I was like panicky over. And then it went away. So that wasn't until I was probably 45 that they then were like, okay, we're going to start to send you regularly. Yeah. So I went for the first one. They were like, you have dense breast tissue. And I thought I was off the hook. But then every year since then, I get a request in the mail. And so my most recent one was the one where I went and they told me that it's now at 40 or whatever that you can start to go.
Wow. Well, that's good.
It was great. It was very busy. When I used to go, it was like it was older people and me. Now it's more common. There's a lot more people there. But in this thing, I think it was CBC Gem. I want to say it was CBC Gem that I sent the video. And I think it's a new TV show, and I should again.
We should look it up.
Doing our research.
Yeah, because I've seen a few menopausal skits.
And I think it might be that show. And I really should have figured out what the name of that show was, because it was on CBC Gem. And it was really our age. It was definitely, it was perimenopausal videos. It's menopause videos. It's now a mammogram, but I love it. She like walks in and she's like got her shirt off and she's got the little robe showing it all. And she's like, look at these. They're great. They're wonderful. You know, and the lady's like, have you ever done this? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm old hat kind of thing. And then you see her like panic when they show that little wedge of where they're going to stick your boob and they're going to squish it. And she's like, what? You're going to what?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you got to watch it right to the end, because up until that point, I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But the way it ends, just like,
love it.
Put me on the floor. I was howling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll have to find it and post it on our Heard at the Bar page.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you sent it to me, so we've got it.
Yeah.
I was not nervous the first time I went in. And I think because I went as a screening baseline, and it was on my turn. I wasn't going because I had to. I was going because I wanted to.
Yeah. So
it took away a lot of that nervousness. Now, obviously, get in there, and then they're like, okay, you got to come back. Ooh, right? It's shifted things a little bit back to the nervousness. I didn't find it to hurt too much. Did you find it hurt?
I was going to say that it hurt a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I found it was super uncomfortable. They tried so hard, but they like pull your boob like it's dough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like pulling it and flattening it. And you've got to put your arms around.
Yeah. For me, what bothered me with it. Now, my left boob did hurt, but it was bearable. It wasn't like I couldn't handle it. It was more of the position they get you in, because they pull you in and then you've got to like lift your chin, look over your shoulder, lift your arm, stick your hip out. Like there's all of these contortions.
And you got to like reach your arm out. Yeah.
Right. So, and then it's like, okay, now hold your breath and don't move while we take the image. And I'm like starting to sweat just because I'm holding such a pose. Like, I don't know.
You need to do anymore. Pilates just to be able to get into the pose and hold it.
100%. Yes, you need to do training. That's what you do. The 6 months leading into your mammogram, come and we'll do some pose training so you can hold.
So you can hold your mammogram spot. Yeah. It did hurt. That's the one thing that caught me, that I didn't think it was gonna like, and it was that and the squishing and it didn't bother me that they were touching, because the one lady said that. She goes, some people don't like to be touched. And she was like, I just wanted to let you know that I have to do this. I was like, I don't care. Like,
but
whatever.
I could see someone who had been like sexually abused.
Exactly.
That would be traumatic.
Yeah. And I
think about it, anything
they ask.
All of the things that we get checked for are traumatic.
Yes.
especially if you've been sexually assaulted.
I can't imagine. So I did, and we haven't talked about this before, but I did in vitro fertilization to have Kian. And they have and I call it, I don't know what its real name is. I call it a dildo cam. I don't know. It looks like a dildo.
Oh, the ultrasound.
The
That's
ultrasound,
a
the
wand.
internal ultrasound wand.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So I called it a dildo cam. And every time they're checking your follicles, but I can see that would cause some people to have a really traumatic response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're not gentle. And that's something I can't even imagine a man having to go through something like that. Like, and they just don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I know it's not easy being a woman. It's not being easy. It's not being easy. I don't know where I was going with that. It's not being easy being a woman. Oh my goodness.
No, and like, if we're talking about, they no longer do it either. They don't do yearly annual checkups anymore. So my daughter has never had a checkup, like a full physical. They don't do those anymore.
Right.
Whereas I'm thinking, how do you check for like cervical cancer and stuff like that? Because they always did it yearly.
So you still are supposed to have pap tests every 3 years. That's still a thing.
No, apparently not. You have to ask for it. It's not an automatic thing. So because I assumed that as soon as my daughter was sexually active, she should have to go. And I asked the doctor, and the doctor was like, nope. And I was like, no. And they were like, no. And I was like, well, how do you get tested for that kind of thing? Well, you have to specifically go to the doctor and say, I want to have like an STD test, or I want to have a pap smear, or I want to have, they don't automatically do it. Like I remember, this is kind of funny, and sorry, Kian. When he was young, I asked the doctor, like, when do you do, I know you do tests for girls. When do you do guys? And she said, well, we like to do a test to make sure their testes have descended. So after a boy hits puberty, we like to do a check. So I was like, okay, well, my son had hit puberty at the time. I think he was 13. And I was like, should I book him to come in? And she says, yes. So I said, okay. So I said to my son, I want to say he was in grade 7 or 8. I don't know, 7 or 8. Yeah. And he was talking to his buddies on FaceTime, and he was telling them that he had to go and get this physical. And he was saying like, dude, some old lady's going to touch my junk before I even have a girl touching it. Like I was dying that he would think of it like that. Like she's a doctor. And our physician was a female. And so that was his takeaway from this, is that he had to get some lady is going to touch his junk, and it wasn't going to be in a good way. For the first time a girl touched his junk. I was like,
poor Peanut.
Buddy.
Yeah.
And that was his takeaway. That is exactly the conversation he had after he got home with his buddies, was to tell them about this and to tell them that when they hit puberty, they were going to have this done.
See, I didn't know. I had no idea that was even a thing. Girl mom, no idea.
Yeah. And I don't think they do it anymore. Like I really don't. I've not heard. And I think he made a comment that his buddies, like a year later or 2 years later, whenever they hit puberty, because he hit it much earlier than most of his friends.
Right.
He was talking, and he said, no, none of them had to have it, just him. And I was like, okay, well, I had asked.
Maybe you want to look into that doctor.
Well, she's retired now, but I had asked her at what age, and she had just said once they hit puberty, just to make sure that the testes had descended, nothing's twisted or something like that.
Interesting.
I don't know. It was my first time being a mom.
Yeah. No, but and you've never been a boy.
No, I've never been a boy. I don't know what you check for. And having like asking my husband, he was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he said something about turning and coughing.
As you know, my first experience with raising a male has been with Oliver.
Yes.
Oliver the cockapoo. And there was some concern about his testicles not descending and not being able to get fixed. That was a lot of stress for me.
So it makes sense that if that's a problem for a dog, that
Maybe
obviously for a boy,
maybe it could.
and maybe you just, I don't know. I don't know. Honest to goodness, I don't know anything about boys other than that. Like, got nothing. Got nothing.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. But I'm going to come back to the no more pap tests. I don't understand that still. Is it because Gardasil is so widely given that it's not as much of a risk?
I don't know. They didn't say, like, they honest to goodness didn't say why. They just said nowadays to get any test, you literally have to ask your doctor to do the test. They don't just automatically do it. Like back when I remember, I'd get a call and be like, you need to come in for your physical.
Yeah.
And then they would link your birth control pills to it. So I won't renew your birth control until after you've had your physical. And so you would go in for your physical just to get your birth control. Like, they don't do that anymore, which I'm interested to see because I think Neve's on her last pack of her birth control. So I don't know if they just auto renew them or I don't know how that works.
Because I had heard that they were going to have at-home pap tests.
How are you going to do that? If we had trouble doing the COVID test where you stick that thing up your nose and hit in the back, how is someone going to go up themselves and hit their cervix?
Yeah, I know. Talk about needing to do Pilates in order to
And what are you going to ask your partner? What if you don't have a partner? Like,
I'm aware. Yeah.
And I can honestly say my husband, there's no way he'd be like, what? You want me to put that where?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry. This is making me think of that scene in This Is 40. And the Paul Rudd character has hemorrhoids.
Oh.
And he's like, come in. You got to check. You just have to check and see what's going on. And she's like, I can't unsee that. Like, this is not going to help our sex life at all.
No.
I worry. So on one hand, the breast screening has come down to age
40 or 35, whatever it is.
Which hopefully then reduces.
I do have a phone here. I can maybe look.
Okay.
Well, you're talking.
Okay, well, I'm talking. So that's a positive thing.
Yes.
But like, is this whole PAP screening, is it a way for the government to save money?
That's what I think it is. I think because people aren't going to ask to be screened or to have a PAP, right? Who wants to go? Remember the conversation with Carrie.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about just now. If she didn't have to, she wouldn't have. And then do we end up having a rise in cervical cancer?
It is 40.
40 for what?
For the breast
screening.
Oh, okay. I lied. It says this is telling me the average risk, not the, that's not the
screening.
Age. No, the average risk is 40.
Okay.
Ontario has lowered the start age for breast screening to 40.
Okay.
Yep. So as of October 8th, 2024, eligible people in Ontario aged 40 to 49 can self-refer.
Okay. Can request it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that's also linked to the fact that early detection reduces the risk.
Yes.
So then, I mean, we're going to have a professional on to talk about this.
We're going to have to,
I need to understand this, why it's no longer a thing. Because if we're not screening it, we're not pushing to screen it. Like, no woman
who's going to just automatically, if you don't know or don't have a concern, who's going to be like, yes, I want to get that.
Please, let's do this. I mean, I was back in the days when it was a metal speculum. And you're lucky if they warmed it up beforehand. Yeah. Ugh.
Yep.
No, thank you.
It's funny, when I had Kian, I remember the gel that they used for the ultrasound, it was cold. Now they keep it in a heated thing on the side of the.
Really?
Yeah. When Neve was in the hospital because she had kidney stones, before and they were doing ultrasounds. They keep it heated, like it was warm for her.
Nice. Yeah, because that was brutal. You had to pee, and then this cold gel was being poured on your stomach. Horrible.
Yes. So, but yeah, so it's one of those things that even though some of these things are very uncomfortable, he doesn't want to, oh no, he just wants to be on the podcast.
Okay.
Some of these things are really uncomfortable. They are things that we have to do. Oh, and just as this happens, my son is calling us. Well,
that's hilarious. Like he knows.
It's like he knows we're talking about him. Sorry, Kian, I'm going to decline your call. Well, you'll have to watch the podcast to find out.
But mom still loves you.
Yeah. I will call you back. Promise. I think he's dancing in Barrie teaching or something, and he's trying to book go tickets to get there. And I guess he finishes teaching at 6:15, and the go doesn't run that late, or I can't remember. He was texting me while I was teaching.
How's he going to get back?
I don't know. Jeez. I think that's what he's trying to figure out. And it's tomorrow, because why wouldn't you look into this in advance?
Well, I mean, come on now. That would take some serious planning.
All right. Okay. I feel like we're getting a little off topic. I think we're...
Yes, well, somebody is distracting me right now. So
you know what? It's
our time is up. No, I fed him.
Oh, you fed him
beforehand. Oh. I know. I was prepared. He doesn't like the conversation. He doesn't like to hear about poop.
He doesn't like that you were talking about his...
Exactly. I talked about his testicles without his permission. I'm so sorry, sir.
Yeah, he's not very happy. Well, thank you for joining us for our rant about mammograms and pap smears and all that fun stuff.
And I hope it encourages, even though, yes, it might hurt. It doesn't hurt for everybody. Go get those boobies checked.
And it's for, honestly, probably less than 3 minutes.
It's bearable.
It's very bearable.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a story to tell.
Exactly.
Who doesn't want stories? Well, thank you for joining us. And thank you for being part of our community.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.